From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. As always, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brew, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Check them out every Tuesday for Singo and Thursday for Bingo. It's a great time. How are you this week, bud?
I am exhausted. Busy week at work, but I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here talking to you. I know we had a planned week off last week, so I hope that I know you had a big week last week, so I hope that went well for you, buddy. But doing well, man. Just weird, very weird without football, as I'm sure you also are experiencing. That comfort of knowing it's there, but playing dynasty fantasy football, you always get the NFL is year round for me. So doing good, man, doing good. Just pushing through, looking forward to this weekend. How about yourself, big dog?
Doing well, man. Much like you, just super busy at work. It's been a crazy week. We hosted the district tournament at Laverne, so I worked that. We're working crowd control upstairs.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a big event. It's, I heard that it's sold out completely. That they were turning folks away at the door is what, the word on the street was. I couldn't get out of my house all the way here in White Bluff because the traffic was backed up. It was like getting into Bonnaroo.
We technically were turning people away at the door. Now, the reason there could be it could be because we were sold out. It could be because they didn't have a clear bag. It could be because they didn't want to pay the extra $1.
Drugs. They were clearly on drugs. They were in the wrong area. They were going to a different district tournament and took a wrong turn. Lots of stuff. But hey, man, good. Glad that got squared away and went well for you, man.
Hell yeah, man. We also, the wife and I tried a new restaurant in Murfreesboro called Mr. Brew's Brew House. It was lackluster.
Yeah, you could have known that from the name. They literally named it Bodie McBoatface. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mr. Brew. What? I've got a restaurant. He's like, "What is your restaurant?" He's like, Mr. Brew's Brew House. Yes, Mr. Brew's Brew House.
To put it into context of how disappointing it was, I, as a person, have never in my entire life left a online review of a place. I just never felt
it busted out the online review.
I left a review before we even fully left the building.
You became it turned you into a middle-aged white woman, dude. That's how bad it was. It sounds like.
It was that bad. And they've been open for less than a month, and they can't. And now here's the thing: I understand bad nights happen.
Sure.
But then it's about how you deal with it. So they come around and they just kind of say, oh, we had normally we don't send food back, but we got food that was like literally it felt like it came out of a refrigerator.
Yeah.
So, and she was like, oh, okay. And so she comes back and she's like, okay, well, to make up for it, we're going to give you 20% off your food. And we're like, all right, cool. We'll take that.
Sure.
What she failed to mention, what she mentioned was she was only taking 20% off the item that they had that was wrong. I'm like, oh,
which is not 20%
so that comes out to be, that comes to be $1.50 off that burger. Cool, I guess. And they're like, oh, you guys definitely should come back 3 or 4 times. Give us another try. I'm like, 3 or 4
give us dude, with 25% of the time we're gonna land this plane, bro. We're landing this plane. That is not a large enough hit rate. There's only 7 days of the week, roughly 21 meals in those 7 days. Most of them are spent at home and not out and about. I'm not going 25% hit rate on a place that's not even quick. And like, I had to sit here, and I might have to sit here for double as long if you don't make my food
Yeah.
appropriately and then forget to bring it to me the first time and have to remake it. But my time's worth that $1.50. So, hey, you scammed them, Bob, is what it sounds like, bro. It's like, sounds like you got them, dude.
But yeah, so let's get into, let's see. Fit check. I'm rocking a new football shirt, but that's about it, man. After that, I was in the middle of writing a paper, and I said when we're done with this, I gotta edit, then get back to writing a paper. So I'm just kind of
hot diggity. Yeah, I just got my button down from work, and I got my my 90s Preds hat here, bro. So been rocking that. It's it's great. Always comfortable hat. Maybe I'll flip that game on tonight. I don't got a lot going on, so maybe try to watch them a little bit rather than having to catch up and watch highlights and stuff.
Yeah. But all right, let's jump into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
We are gearing up for what I would consider, it's almost like the NHL Christmas time, and that is the trade deadline. Last year, the trade deadline was not great, so here's to hoping that we get a little bit of a better one this year.
Yeah, a little lackluster. But...
So starting off, Blues listening to proposals for Pavel Buchnevich. I don't have his stats in front of me. Now these are starting to trickle out, so we don't have big juicy stuff yet. But we got little ones.
Yeah, we'll do, and these are just some rumors, and we'll come in. What is the official date of the trade deadline, Bobby? Do we have that?
March 8th.
March 8th. So yeah, so next
March
week
8th,
we can do more of a. We're gonna talk Super Bowl today, right? So we can do more of a.
Yeah.
Bring it all around, and maybe spend most of our time doing trade talk and.
Yeah.
Do that.
I have noticed just now, and I think I did it last week or 2 weeks ago. I've been doing so many impersonations of a certain former president that when I'm talking now, I'm naturally doing this with my hands, and if you can't see, I'm making almost like a V going out with my hands when I'm talking, like
Herbert Hoover.
And it's yes,
Okay.
the old Hoove man,
the old Hoove, dude. It's a classic, dude. That's a classic.
Yeah,
I personally, I like doing a William McKinley. You just die pretty quickly is really how you do that.
Yeah.
You just die within like immediately before you start the impression. So I pretty much kill that.
I do have a question. Is the and this is off, of course we're getting off track. The Hoover brand of vacuums, is that named after Herbert Hoover because of the way he vacuumed up food?
Or sucked, maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I will do a little bit of independent research, Bob.
Yeah. Herbert Hoover was the co-founder and later president of the Hoover Vacuum Cleaner Company.
Okay, so literally,
this has it does say no relation to President Herbert Hoover.
Okay, literally,
it is just so happened it's a coincidence that the founder also has the
they
first
really
name.
got us, dude. They really got. We could, Bobby. We literally would have spent if you wouldn't have read that little blurb. How many people in casual conversation would we tell this to? And then, like, it not be worthy enough for them to look it up immediately. But down the road, they tell somebody, and eventually the line stops somewhere, and people start getting mad at people, and eventually ending with us.
Yeah.
This happens,
especially since the only amount of fact checking you're doing is you would see the first name Herbert Hoover and assume that it's the same Herbert Hoover.
That was it. That's all I needed, dude. I was locked in. I was going to pass this story along to my grandchildren, for God's sakes. Okay. This is exactly. Yeah. I mean, I would have never, this is exactly like when I told Austin, my cousin, that Danny Glover was Donald Glover's father because I was truly not trying to punk him.
Oh wait, you thought
I was truly not trying to punk him. Somebody told me in passing, and it was pre a lot of availability of information to be found on the internet. And also I didn't care, dude. It was just a fun factoid that if I was wrong, it didn't matter. And so he was like at big time and at this party or something, and in front of a large group of people, he decides to get into an argument with somebody about the fact that he's never verified. I never argued it with anybody. He decided to have a large argument around a bonfire to then only be subsequently proven wrong by the internet. And so he texted me immediately and was reaming me. And I was like, that's on you, dude. You accepted my fake news and took it to heart without doing any research on your own. All I said was Danny Glover is Donald Glover's dad, and you've ran with it. And it was a pretty good factoid. It got me through some fun times where nobody looked me up and fact checked.
I just want to confirm that because there was a good bit ago, I would purposely screw with people and tell them that Danny Glover
This was not you. No, this was not you.
Okay, because I knew it wasn't, but I would still screw with them, and like knowing that they would like in the same party go.
No,
and tell other people.
I would fully admit if you were the one that got me.
Okay.
But see, we are who we are, Bobby, and so if you told me, I would feel the need to verify. Trust but verify. You're a good friend. But
I do wonder
you
if
would think that was hilarious for me to do that.
Yeah, I do wonder if maybe I told someone who told someone and told someone, and then it came to you.
Maybe if I went back in the trail, I never got embarrassed by it, so I never went back to my tree. Austin just came to me because apparently he'd used it quite a bit. He'd been using it like as a just fun fact. Hey, fun fact, and it's a fun fact that nobody was hurt in the misfamilying the Glovers is all I'm saying.
One of my favorite bits is when Donald Glover was on SNL and he was like, "Yes, it is true. My father is Chevy Chase."
It's hilarious. All right, back to trades. Back to trades.
Yeah,
we got way derailed, but very good discussion. That was perfect.
Yeah. Jake Gunsel, he could leave Pittsburgh. I don't know why I put this in here because I specifically hate when articles are like he could leave Pittsburgh.
Maybe
he could not. I mean, that's kind of how trade deadlines work.
They've got away game. They've got away games coming up, and they're not in Pittsburgh, and so he's probably going to be headed out of Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, but it's more of a just a hey, you're hearing some rumors, and this is something that we need to be cognizant of for the next 8 to 16 days, in prep for our trade episode next week. So. Yeah, but I'm seeing some rumors as well. I will need to. It looks like Canadians I'm seeing. Is that what you're also seeing?
I have only seen it from the side of Pittsburgh where they are still shopping him, but they aren't sure if they want. It's very much a for the right price, but if they don't know what. I don't think Pittsburgh knows what the price is yet.
Sure. But I am seeing some quotes and talks from Kyle Dubas. So I think that it's a little bit more. And nothing like we're going to trade Gunsel or we're shopping Gunsel from what I can tell, but more of, hey, we're open, that things that lead to a more likelihood that they would be willing to shop somebody like Gunsel, and maybe get a return on him if they're, don't feel like they're long-term ready to compete.
Now, to something that is not a rumor, but in fact verified, and that is up in Calgary. Calgary is still not budging, and they want a first-round pick for Chris Tanev, or Tanev? I don't know. Either way.
Tanev.
I'm looking. So currently, his current season, he's got 1 goal, 11 assists, and 12 points.
So
he is 34.
It's a weird way to say we're keeping Christopher Tanev on our roster. It just seems like a weird way to tell us like, hey, we'll be continuing to roster this guy long term. I want to trade podcast host for somebody else, Bob. We're shopping you for one of the fantasy footballers, actually, Bobby. That's what we find your worth to be, and so we'll be trading you out. We're bringing in Mike Wright.
You have to assume that Tanev knows his worth a little bit and would think,
if he's
that's weird.
Well,
what are they not telling me?
It's probably 50-50, dude. It's probably 50-50 in the professional world of like. These guys could either be so full of themselves that they truly believe that they're worth anything like that. Or he's like, oh, okay, they want to, you know what I'm saying? Or he's self-aware that he's like, hey man, I'm a good hockey player and I can definitely provide something to a team, but it seems like the team that I'll be providing that to will continue to be Calgary. So yeah, I just can't even see for a 34-year-old defenseman dropping even 28th, 29th pick, man. You know, that's a long-term prospect that you're giving up for what doesn't seem to even equate to a potential Band-Aid. You know, it doesn't seem like, oh, okay, you're bringing in Chris Tanev, and yeah, maybe he provides something to your team, but is it that X factor that's getting you over the hump for a first-round pick? I agree. We'll look more into it and see if there's any interest next week and see, you know, who's reached out and what gets it done. Because, you know, second or third is still pretty good draft capital for that guy, for a 4-year-old defenseman. And that is a little more feasible for a team that is competing, you know?
Yeah. Ovi is hot once again. The Great 8 has 8 goals in 8 games. That brings him to 16 on the season. So it is good to see him kind of getting back into the swing of things.
I don't want to.
Hopefully he can keep the.
I don't want to be this guy, Bobby. But there's been some offensive push in Ukraine by Russia, dude. So I don't know if maybe he got a little jolt in his system, dude. He's back. He's like, all right, boy. He's like, all right. He's like, if my boys can do it, then I can do it. I can push through. Yeah. But no, seriously, we kind of talked about it, and it was one of those things that, like, it could very easily, in one moment, us talking about, hey, him being a little slow, and is this a long-term thing, to him scoring. I think, you know, it was X goals in X amount of games. And so back on track, getting some shots up. Washington's been looking a little bit better. So that concern that we brought up a few weeks ago and just wanting to make sure we're staying on top of our Ovi watch. I think it still makes it tough to push for the record because, you know, any dry spells like this at all can be a very detrimental, because it was a very high number of goals per year over a long course of time. So obviously it would be great to see him do it, or at least be in the chase of it. I don't necessarily care if he gets the record or not. I just don't want it to die before it's really a race, you know?
100%. But all right, so let's move to outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all my non-binary friends, the time has finally come. The king of video games is here. NCAA Football 25 is official, announced by EA Sports.
I'm so freaking pumped up, Bobby. I'm freaking pumped up, dude.
All 134 FBS schools will have full 80-man rosters, real-life rosters. However, FCS schools will not be available to play with at launch, but that will be added later on.
That's okay, and that's the first time I'm hearing of, like, that truly is something that should be a DLC. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, why don't you build a complete game? Because they're building NCAA, and then they're going to add FCS teams later. Nobody goes road to the FCS championship, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to go FCS championship to move up. So I couldn't be more happy. I'll tell you, I've been trying, you know, I'm so excited, but I haven't been watching a bunch of the stuff that's coming out or reading about it because I can't contain myself. I hope, I'll tell you, a lot of people are saying, I want mascot mode. And I know that they said we'll have Road to Glory. I want nothing more than option attack, bro. No, I just want an option attack. Any version of option attack was my favorite thing on earth to play. I would do it for hours, bro. Like 95 Nebraska was that team on the option attack. I will shred any defense. It was you knew I was about to do it, and I was about to take it to the house every time. So I'm friggin' pumped, dude. What team you taking to the ship, dude? What's your go-to? I'm about to build this school up.
So the one I always picked was either Miami or Maryland.
Okay, fair enough.
So
but that's
I'm
not a
probably gonna-
build up.
probably-
That's I
know.
respect your game. That's
Yeah.
not a building up. Taking an ACC. It's
Then-
taking a smaller
so-
football program and making
so
it
th-
better.
So I already know who that is. It is a backwater team that honestly probably the last one, and that's Vanderbilt.
Oh, so that's a small. That's a school. That's not a football school, dude. You're gonna have. I
Yeah, I
would start
know.
with a little easier. I would maybe move up to trying Vanderbilt later. Like
Maybe
you got to
Louisiana
get back
Lafayette
in
first.
the game. Yeah, you want to try. You want to try like Lafayette or like Tulane or like Wyoming is probably like higher on the list of possible programs that you could build. But hey, I mean, to each his own. I'm
Yeah.
just pumped that we.
I
Finally
really
get
hope
this.
that they make all the stadiums like real life, because then Vanderbilt would be even better. If you got like
it's
the
just
half
like it's
the
like
stadium.
construction. It's like half. It's like
Like,
construction.
because here's the thing: in real life, that sucks. In the game, that's the best stadium in the game. If
That's
they
what
do
I'm
that.
saying, dude. Just like half built and like construction and like they have the fans all sitting down. They never stand up, dude. They just sit the whole
No,
game.
they have they're all standing up, but it's not black and gold.
it's
all home games are the away team colors.
It's the only stadium they programmed to always be the away color. Yes, dude. I'll tell you, I would give up option attack if they made that happen, dude. It would be there. Look, just to see the pure frustration, because what would your Vanderbilt friends say? You know, like what would they
it's real
could be
life.
mad? Like why? Like I am mad that they did that, but why are you mad that they did it?
You know what? I know why they're mad, because they play video games to escape reality.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
They
like, but why are you mad? Oh, because it's too real for you. It's too real. Like, okay, yes. So that I do have a new dream, and it's that, and it is that I would,
Or if
hey,
you play Dynasty mode as Pitt, that every 5 or 6 years there's a scandal that
dude,
you
just
have to deal with at the school.
you're the coach, and then actually you find out that they had reported to you about some sexual assault stuff, and you don't say anything, and then you get canned, and then like you can't get another job in the game because you've been blacklisted. That would be pretty sick, dude.
And your game just fries.
It's just yeah, exactly. When you play it as Tennessee, you have to have recruiting violations. You have to, dude. It's not in question, and it's got to be stupid. Like you saw a kid at a picnic one time, and then that's like a 7-game bowl ban. You're out for a little while, Tennessee. So Auburn.
I do wonder if with the NIL, if you'll be able to like make recruits like offers, like money, like cash offers.
No,
in the game.
you wouldn't, because you're
they-
going to be running the school. That's from boosters and stuff. That just means they can make money. I can't, as a school, say I'm going to pay you money.
Well, there should be like a morality option. Like, are you going to go under the table?
Sure.
Like,
Oh yeah.
If you're doing with Alabama,
sure.
yeah.
Well, how else are you going to play as Tennessee if you're not going to be able to do that? If you're not going to be able to violate recruiting stuff? But what if it makes it actually super hard for you as like a Kent State or a Tulane to actually get anybody whatsoever? Because like Ohio State's just over there, and they're in behind the scenes boosters are just giving a bunch of money that you can't even see. That's like blacklist in the game, and you can't figure out why. And the game developers are like, I mean, Ohio State probably just had boosters pay that guy a bunch of money, dude.
Yeah.
no question. Yeah, super jazzed.
But so some of the
A1 purchase for
details.
me.
So starting Thursday, which is the day of recording, all players in college, college football players can start opting in to participate in the video game. That is one thing that the NCAA mandated, is that if you want to use likeness, the player has to opt in, and the players will receive $600 and a free copy of the game. I mean, not a lot, but hey, worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, even the guys that are about to go make a bunch of money, like if Caleb Williams or whoever, or guys coming back, don't opt in, even though it's a low amount of money, you're dead to us, bro. You're dead to us.
Yeah.
You ain't in NCAA, you don't exist. I won't draft you come dynasty time, dude. Rookie draft, bro. You gonna be undrafted. in my house at least.
Yeah.
Respect.
I hope that they allow the
The crossover?
players to get their get the historic teams get Reggie
Yes.
Bush USC.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. In less exciting news, spring training has started today for the MLB.
Oh
Yeah. However, something hilarious. Fanatics has taken over as the official provider of all MLB uniforms, and they have already screwed up. But their screw up was so close to the beginning of the season that they didn't have time. And there's a link there to a video. They made all of their pants way too thin, so you could just see the jersey tucked in and the underwear of all the players.
Nice. And the video, I wasn't able to, I didn't listen to it, but I saw that it was like, oh, dude's making some jokes about, I bet you. I mean,
the video shows his pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna pop this bad boy up again because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be looking at because I didn't hear him. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah, it just looks so sloppy.
I like it, boy. I think it's sick, dude. Some clear pants. You don't have those. You don't see those these days, dude. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude. And now, look, what if, hear me out. What if they're trying to get more women to come to baseball games? They actually, I mean,
yeah.
This is it. This is how you get women into baseball. Easy money. They wouldn't even notice the shirt. Not even a question for them.
All right. So, they also when they sent the teams out, the jerseys out to all the teams, they screwed up all the numbers. Like they sent wrong names and wrong numbers. Dude. I think on some of them they sewed some of the numbers on the front of the jerseys, like they were football jerseys.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this, Bobby. If I am a big sports league, I mean they're all about cutting corners and saving $1. They never do it at the right area though. Why are they not just making DHgate the official sponsor of or Alibaba or like any of these overseas, the ones that are already making them anyway? They're already the ones that are making the jerseys that you're buying from Fanatics. You can just eliminate a middleman. And if they mess up, dude, I've never had any problem with them just being like, yeah, I'll send you a new one. No problem. That's who 100%. I'm calling. I'm calling DHgate. Just getting, and you can get a bundle right there, dude. That's like 15% off. Bet you they have thick pants too. Actual pants that not clear.
So, time to move into our main topic of the day. We have been off since the Super Bowl, so we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. It was a great football game. I mean, it came going into overtime. It was a fun game to watch. I had no complaints about it. How about you?
No. Some people were a little upset that it was very slow in the beginning. I like a good battle, man. I liked the way that the game progressed. I found it somewhat ridiculous. I found the chirping and the whining of 49ers fans to be somewhat absurd. They didn't know the overtime rules. And so then people were telling, I heard 49ers fans say, well, they didn't know the rules. As if somebody that gets paid millions of dollars, that's the excuse. They just didn't know. Well, that sounds stupid. They didn't just make it up, dude, and like send out almost every team a copy except you. How in the biggest game of your career do you not already know the rules and have a game plan for those rules? But also when the ref said it to you at the coin flip and he said it into a microphone, which I'm assuming goes over a loudspeaker for everybody to listen in the most crucial moment of your career, Kyle Shanahan, you weren't listening to the referee speak. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you at all. That was stupid. You should have received the football. You should have sent your captains up there with a plan. And you saw the look of disappointment on Mahomes' face when they lost that coin toss, dude. He was like, I'm devastated because having the ball second is king here. And so when he's like, he was like, they picked it. They decided to do this. He was just like, it was so funny of him, like, that way. Like he just
Looking
like
up,
answered
yeah.
really quickly. Like he was like, they were going to be able to like take it back if he didn't answer
Yeah.
his side very that
Yeah.
way. Like,
He's
I
like,
don't even know if that's the right way
no
that he
taxi
wanted to
backsies.
go. He has no idea
Yeah.
either, dude. He was just like, it's like when you try to snap a play so they can't get a replay in. Like that was it. Greenlaw going down definitely hurt them. But I don't think it was the end all be all. It was a tough defensive matchup, but as we said, that better defensive team won. But it was a battle. It really could have gone either way. But it was funny that this was the same play. They scored on the same play that they scored on last year, essentially. Different player, McCole Hardman versus I think MVS. It was just overall our offense. The offenses were lackluster at first, became much stronger as the game went on. But I think that at the end of the day, what showed out was the quarterback difference. I mean, not any stat-wise glaring stat differences, but just
being able to manage the game.
The cool under pressure. It never seemed
especially
like he
in
was
overtime.
worried. But the 49ers also went away from stuff that was working for them early as well. I felt like they didn't have a strong of a run game. They panicked. They got a lead, and it's like we gotta hurry. We gotta go. Yeah, I didn't think they stuck with what was working for them in the running game early on, and they tried to get a little fancy. Why? Don't get fancy. Hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey.
Do
3 times in a row, dude. 3 times in a row. You could tell him. You'd say, hey, we're handing it to CMC. And maybe they get him one of those 2 times, one of those 3 times, but maybe they don't. And so I didn't really like that second half game plan. It seemed more like the 49ers were playing not to lose rather than to win. And I don't know if that makes sense. They played a hard game, and I don't want to, take anything from them. But I arguably think that on paper, these teams are equivalent, if not leaning towards San Francisco to me. I mean, just looking at it on paper. But there's we talk about this all the time, bro. There's something to be said about getting hot at the right time. And just having been there before, just having done it, been there, seen it, ready for it, it just makes a huge difference. And Purdy, I don't think we've seen the last of the San Francisco team in Purdy.
Oh, I mean,
but Kyle Shanahan is a guy that is starting to get the reputation of that guy that can't win that big game. I mean, he's lost in 2 Super Bowls, one which he royally choked in. It's hard to see. He has to break through and win it. It's very interesting to me that he doesn't get that knock of that guy that can't break through and win it, because I mean, traditionally what he's done in the playoffs has been that guy that can't win that big game. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. I think that they're a strong contender again next year. My question for you is, do the Chiefs do something that no team has ever done before? Three-peat.
No.
You don't think so? Yeah. A scale of 1 to 10, 10 being 10 being very likely and 1 being the least likely, where do you put it on that scale? I think that's a good way to ask the question, because it's not a 0% chance that they do it. It's just a lower chance that I think. And so I'm going to put that at a 2 point. I got a 2.5 on the scale of 10 of confidence that could happen.
I'm at a 4.
4, okay, a little stronger than me. I think that mine could move up.
I think it's less than 50%, so I think it's more likely that they don't.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, they would need to. I think they would need to change some stuff up.
My 2.5 will go up. Probably closer to matching yours once I see their draft. Who they get in the draft will be very important to me. Who falls to them in the draft. I'm at a 2.5. It's very hard to do. It is some stuff, not flukes, but kind of the way that this season played out, a lower scoring season. It really played into the hands of that tough Chiefs defense. I'm excited to see. Neither of us hit the MVP. I personally am glad that it wasn't Kelsey. I don't think he deserved it. I think Chris Jones should have been
not at all.
mentioned. But Mahomes winning it again. I think in the next few
to
weeks,
be fair,
we have to start talking about our GOAT debate. Because as much as I hate to say this, and it's very early on, Patrick Mahomes, through his first 3 Super Bowls, has astronomically handled Brady stat-wise through his first 3 Super Bowls. So let's talk about that in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. One thing I will say is very rarely do I think that the losing team should get an MVP. But, and I don't think this was the case, but it was borderline. Jauan Jennings, maybe that's just some homership on my side, but Jauan Jennings was lights out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
he just doesn't carry the name value along with.
But my God, like his performance in that Super Bowl was a career performance that
voting starts.
I was sad that he
quarter.
didn't get to.
So that's so.
It was sad that
he
didn't get to lift the trophy. Yeah,
yeah.
But I hope Jauan Jennings gets another shot at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's had 2 now, I think, right? Maybe just 1.
I think so.
But I thought he made.
I don't know if he was with this 49ers team.
Yeah, it was. But, I mean, he's been there for about 5 or 6 years, right? He's been.
Yeah. So then he's had a shot.
But I mean, not that we don't want him to get. He was a Blackman kid, right?
Yeah.
I
thought you were about to ask if he's just a black kid.
He's a black guy, right? Yeah, he's that really fast black guy in the NFL. You know him. You know him.
He went to Blackman.
No, he went to Black. Yeah, I can see how that may be a friend. Everybody, Blackman is a local area high school. This is not. Yeah. This is not a off the rails discussion. No, yeah, he's a local kid and then he went and played at University of Tennessee, Bobby's favorite college. So that's the big thing.
But all right, so let's jump into our games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work, so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
All righty. After a couple weeks of Brandon sneaking back up there, I had to take back my spot in control. I had a 3-0 week. Brandon is back to even at 17-17 with
the
a
little
1-2
fishing line,
week.
dude. Oh, you almost got me.
Oh, almost got it.
Almost got me.
So I'm sitting at 22-12 coming into this week. I'll start us off. On the 23rd at 7:30, I've got Winnipeg going into the Windy City of Chicago, and I'm going to take Winnipeg to win this game.
Okay. I like that. I am going to the Great White North in Edmonton for the Wild Oilers game, 8 p.m. on the 23rd. I'm going to go with the Oilers team that is obviously not the team that they started off as in the beginning of the season.
All right.
I think it's I'm sorry. It was actually me.
2 p.m.
I have the 2 p.m. ABC game. We will, ABC's getting back into the hockey biz a little bit since football's over. I guess they forgot that they purchased this. They're like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. You guys play games on Sundays? Saturdays too. Rangers Flyers, the 2:24 at 2 p.m. on ABC, also ESPN Plus. I always go with the Rangers. I'm going to go with the Flyers. So the Rangers are definitely winning this one, Bob.
Okay. So at 6 p.m., I've got Vegas going up to Ottawa. I at first. No, I'm going to stick with my guns here. I'm taking Vegas. I'm taking Vegas to go in there and win.
Don't be careful, man. Don't be too crazy sticking to your guns. You didn't pick San Jose, dude. Pick friggin' Vegas. I guess I can stick. I guess I can rock with this Stanley Cup winning.
Sometimes
team.
it's about how you sell it.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I guess I'll take Vegas to win this game if you're pulling my leg, if I must choose. Sunday, I went with the early game again. Lightning, Devils, 2:25 at 12 p.m. I'm going to go with the Devils here. I think I like the Devils. I
like that pick.
Yeah.
I really do like that.
Yeah. Are you being sarcastic, or are you with me? You thought I was
No,
going Lightning.
I am
Thought I was
100%.
going Lightning.
No,
But
I think the Devils is a good pick.
Yeah.
I would have picked the Devils.
I would have picked the Devils, and I would have wanted, if we were betting, I would have wanted a 1.5 puck line for them too. I think that they go out and they win big.
So, last game of the week, I've got a great rivalry. Our hometown Nashville Predators going out to Anaheim in California. And at first, I was like, you know what? I'm taking all away teams, but this has a sneaky game written all over it.
It's
Nashville
it's like Admiral
sometimes
Akbar.
has a problem with Anaheim.
It's like an Admiral Akbar
So
game. Bro.
I'm taking Anaheim against my heart, but I think that I think Anaheim at home.
It's a win-win, Bob. It's a win-win for you. If you win the game, you win the game. You win the games of the week. If you lose the game, that means that the Preds go out and win. Yeah, it's funny to say that, because Nashville and Anaheim, it just feels so dry and not exciting right now. But dude, the years that we got those bitter rivalries, like hardcore bitter rivalries in like the playoffs, those were fun hockey series to watch.
Yeah.
So yes, that is always going to be a deep hatred of mine, is the Duck. I'm just glad that they changed from the Mighty Ducks, because I don't know that I could ever have hated the Mighty Ducks. So I'm glad that they rebranded and are now just the Ducks, so I can hate them and still love the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. I did see something that on one of the last NHL games, someone rebranded them, and it was on a PC copy, so they were able to mod it. So they just turned them into the Anaheim Cucks.
Okay.
And I was like, I like that. Good job.
I love it.
So I wanted to give a nod to whoever that
They're just
person
here
was.
watching other teams play hockey as of late, dude. Just happy to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right, let's move into joke of the week.
The weird.
Corey Perry.
See, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
All right, so we're going to head down south, or if we go north enough, so really we can go either way, north or south, and we'll get there eventually.
Well, Earth's flat,
that's
Bobby,
all-
so that's not how that works. But
okay.
I do have a guess. It crossed my wavelength. So ask me the question. I have two guesses in mind. I can't remember which is which one, but I'm going to make my guess. I have not
Okay.
opened the story.
So, Antarctica has been claimed by a country officially that they are claiming it. They say that they will raise their flag and begin setting up villages and what I guess countries do when they claim something. So what country do you think claimed Antarctica?
I want to say it's Saudi Arabia.
Incorrect.
Is it Iran?
It is
Yes.
Iran.
Oh, see, I knew it was one of those two. It's the only two. It's like, okay, then do it. If this could have been done, big dog, England would have done it. They would have done it 150 years ago, dude. They would have done it 150. Do it. It's fine. Antarctica's like one of those, like, it's like internationally, like everybody just lays claim to it, because like it's more of a research hub than it is like a mega, like we're gonna put what are you gonna do there, dude? Like, do y'all even have boats, dude? Like, do y'all have a navy? Like, does Iran have a solid navy? I am very intrigued by this at this point. Saudi Arabia would make sense, dude. They're like kind of like the middle ground, like, Arabic country where, like, dude, yes, I could totally see, which is why I probably said Saudi Arabia, because I could see just like a personal billionaire just deciding, I'm gonna go to Antarctica and I'm setting up shop, Iran.
Yeah. I was really hoping that, I really wanted this story to be a fun country, because if it had been
Yes, dude.
Belgium that's going to be
Or
hilarious.
dude,
The rest of the world
Switzerland.
just needs to say, you know what, Belgium, do
Switzerland
it.
finally
Yeah.
gets into the game, dude. They're like, we're no longer
Or
neutral.
Mexico.
Get out. No, they start kicking people that are there researching in Antarctica out, dude. They're like, we're no longer neutral, dude.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. I think Sweden, Belgium, or Mexico would have just been hilarious for them to just start
Yes, that
setting
would have
up.
been much more
And, like,
fun.
they just don't tell
And
anyone.
not- yeah,
And,
that
like-
would have been much more fun and not as obvious of an answer. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
had two in my mind
Yeah.
because it crossed my path and I knew that it was one of those two, and I went with my gut, and that was wrong. I am looking. Okay, so first of all, their Navy is essentially not even its own thing. It's like a portion of the military. So not looking too good. Oh, I can look up their total fleet right now, Bobby. You ready for this? They have 7 frigates, 5 corvettes, 20 fast attack craft, 6 patrol boats, 3 amphibious ships, 17 auxiliary ships, 19 submarines, and 54 aircraft.
That might
It's not.
outnumber the military station at Antarctica
That may cover. Yes, right. If they move their entire fleet
right now.
right now under the cover
Yeah.
of darkness.
Yeah.
And
That's what's
they-
happening. They're not expanding. Iran's moving.
It's right. They are actually, they're packing up, dude. They're packing up. We see them like Beverly Hillbilly style, like frigate
Yeah.
boats with like stuff swaying like on the top.
One day
like,
they were just sitting there and they were talking about, they're like, what are we going to do about this heat?
dude,
And,
they're
like,
like, I'm done.
one guy's just like, you know what?
I'm
I
done.
got it.
We
I have
should
great
get a
idea.
satellite. They're
There's
like,
this whole land.
they're like, sir, have you thought about opening up a satellite office in Antarctica? Okay, a lot of open land. I'm thinking that us as Iran really can't take any occupied land. Look at what happening in Russia. But what I'm saying is there's lots of spots in Antarctica for us to set up shop. We could just claim the whole thing. They'll just laugh at us. They won't even actually do anything. But then we can tell our people that we own Antarctica. And, you know, it's just as silly. Like there's no way. I'm trying to do the math of how many boats they even have. Yeah, they have
So,
105 total boats. That is it. 105 total boats, Bobby. That's that we have like the US Air Force has like 3, it might be 5 aircraft carriers, okay, which are bigger than all 105 of their boats. They have like 5 of them, and that's just the US Air Force. The Navy has it is like so absolutely ridiculous. Like the US Navy is the world's largest Navy, and like the Air Force is like the third world's largest Navy. Like it's so silly how ridiculous. So I want to honestly, I'm joining up, dude. I'm joining up to be like a first settler of Antarctica. Like, hey, Iran,
You're
really?
joining the Iranian military.
Personally don't like agree with your views and stuff, but like I'm down to take over Antarctica for you. Like, can you carve a little portion off for me? Maybe I'll get, let me hit you with this, Bobby. Maybe I'll get the little portion on the corner and I'll get to turn it into like a Guantanamo Bay or something, dude. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like US territory and like, but like I'm kind of running the show there. I get like, you know, like I get to hire the CIA guys that come in and like I have like a private military and stuff. I think that'd be pretty sick, dude. We could record the podcast there.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
think
just
about it.
waiting for the videos of the Iranian military like fighting, getting their asses handed to them by polar bears.
By polar bears, dude, just like just like getting groomed. Like I want to see the Iranian military's cold weather gear, dude. This is like I have so many questions, dude.
It's just closed-toed shoes.
Sit me like I feel like I want to be Clay Aiken right now and just be a fly on the wall when the conversation was had. Like, dude, they had to have been like a couple guys were just drinking. He's like, dude, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go on the news tomorrow and just claim Antarctica. I'm just gonna do it. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Say no? Like if nobody says no, then it's ours, dude, and we own it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, see, that would have been. That's why. So there's one other country that I think could have pulled this off, and this is only a deep cut if anybody has seen this episode of South Park. But Peru, and just not tell anybody, but just start sending Peruvian pan flutes.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's how you
totally
take over
possible.
a country.
Honestly, you know who could have pulled it off the best though? it would have been New Zealand. And let me tell you why, Bobby. Because as soon as New Zealand took over Antarctica, map makers would forget to put it on the map. We would forget about it. They have all this time to colonize the area.
Yeah.
Then New Zealand starts pushing towards global warming. They're pro it. They're trying to cool it off just a little bit, get a little better climate in their area. Next thing we know, we're all friggin' Kiwis, Bobby.
Yeah.
Is that right? Are New Zealand people Kiwis?
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
that just
that's right.
Australians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. New Zealand's
It's
are specifically Kiwis. Australians are not Kiwis.
They're not Kiwis. Okay.
Yeah.
Australians
It
are
is.
apples.
It is derogatory to call
It's
an Australian
apples
a
to
Kiwi.
kiwi. Oh, it is. Oh, I'm like, oh my god, dude! I've offended our Australian. Keith.
Yeah.
Keith. I'm so sorry, mate.
Oh, Keith is
Oh
fuming.
my god, Keith! I swear to God, it's a cultural barrier, mate. It's honestly,
Yeah.
Keith. I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah. He's going to now drive down to Perth with his Jimmy.
Right, he's gonna have to go
go
down
throw
when
a
he
shrimp on the
drives.
Bobby.
He drives down and he downloads the episode. He's gonna be pissed as hell. He's gonna be, what the hell is this guy
with
talking
that
about?
Yeah. It'll take 3 years to download with that Australian speed, but
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, hopefully,
all right.
hopefully the hatred between Australians and Kiwis has died down by the time Keith gets in this game. All right. That's what I can hope
Yeah.
for.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's move into what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
Alrighty, so I've got one, and you're gonna kind of piggyback off this one, and that is bikers. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, "Well, Bob, what kind
Can
of
I
bikers?
guess?
Is
Can I
it?
guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
I've been mulling over it all show. And I think that you're talking about motorcyclists.
Well, I can tell you that you are incorrect, but also correct, because when I wrote this, it was about both.
Oh,
It was about motorcyclists and
okay.
bicycles.
Okay. Okay.
So
So I feel
now,
better.
I may have gone on this rant a little bit already. Who
Sure.
knows?
I
We've been
mean,
doing
we're
this for a long
only-
time.
we're only
This
human
is episode
people.
189.
We're only human beings.
Yeah.
There is no way that we haven't smack talked motorcycles and bicyclists by now. But bro, come on.
Yeah.
We've asked the
My
KGB
biggest
to hire
thing-
us. Okay. We've talked about
Yeah.
we've talked smack about it.
These two people who culturally they are, or I guess personality wise, they are two separate circles. Their Venn diagram is
Diametrically
not.
opposed, my friend.
Yeah. However, they are the worst kinds of people because they do not belong on public roads. Get your two wheels and your one light that's not good for depth perception and non-seatbelt having to wear ass off my road. And stop making it seem like it's only my job to watch
Right.
out for you.
Right. Share
You're
the road.
the one who's out there.
Share the road.
Get on a sidewalk.
Share the road. No. You know what? No. I'm not. No, I'm not going to.
No
I'm
sidewalk.
just saying no. Oh, I don't care about the sidewalk. Right on the sidewalk.
Oh,
I don't care. I'm just saying no. I'm not sharing the road anymore, Bob. I've decided just now. My road. I'm done. I'm done being a good human. I'm out.
yeah, yeah. And you're probably asking, well, what brought this on? Well, there was videos all over Instagram and YouTube, and no matter what, it's always the same thing. It is a biker always going way over the speed limit, going like 95 and a 35, and then a car does something something a little dumb, and then the biker gets extremely hurt. Well, guess what, man? If you weren't going 90 miles an hour,
Right. There's a speed
like-
limit for
and
a
everyone's
reason.
like, well, they're not at fault. Like,
Yes,
yeah, you
they
know
are.
what? The car may be a little bit at fault as well.
Sure.
Like, but both parties can be at fault. But
but
also,
the thing is,
stop thinking about things legally. Like,
well,
your human,
and
your body is
legally-
at stake here.
Oh, and like legally, there's a reason that there's a speed limit, that I should have an expectation that I am able to operate, that
Yeah.
people are operating on that speed limit. And so when a guy that's supposed to be going 70 gets hit going 100, you understand he's nearly going double the speed that I expected him to be going. And so is it my fault? Nobody is saying it is not. He hit the back of you. So yeah, you were a little bit at fault. But again, he hit the back of you. So he's a little bit
Yeah.
at fault. a car cuts me off, and so it's exactly as you're saying. I feel bad, but if a car cuts me off in my car, I just hit the brakes, dude. I just slow down.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about being on two-wheel. You know what? No more two-wheel motorcycles, Bobby.
Exactly.
Only the three-wheelers, bro. Only the three-wheelers, and preferably
on the weekends.
the Honda Roadster, dude. The Honda Roadster. And let's just say this. Let's hit them with this, Bob. No more interstates. You guys are out. You guys had your chance. We tried to give. This is hey. Are all motorcyclists like this? No, not at all. Are all bicyclists like this? No, not at all. But the thing is, in the world, we have to make rules for the least common denominator. They don't put warning signs on the side of on the side of house cleaner because the smart people were drinking it. Okay, they do it for the lowest common denominator, and so it's about time we're saying, you know what, we gave you
because
it was a good
bikers
run.
were drinking it.
It was a good run in the interstate for the interstate system. We really gave you guys a good shot. You guys are back to the roads, dude. You're back on the roads, and maybe one day you'll prove to us that you deserve to be back on the interstate. But you're out for me.
Yeah, it just blows my mind. And there are arguments like, well, we can't be on the sidewalks because what if we hit a person? I'm telling you right now, a bicycle and a person colliding is a lot better than a bicycle and a car.
Yeah, unless you're the person.
I don't understand that thought process.
Honestly, let me hit you with this. Bike lanes are bust. Ride in the grass, big dog. Figure it out. Get some off-road tires. No more of this street. Let's stop just being the best at exercising, Bobby, and get a little skill. Let's make this BMX and not cycling, dude. You're just pedaling. Yeah. You should be doing like bunny hops and stuff, dude. And then I respect you. I respect your game. I'm with you, man. And I think we covered it.
Yeah. And on that note, we thank you so much for joining us. For Brandon, I'm Bobby. This has been the Pucks Out Podcast. We'll see you all again next time.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.